Hey everyone, it is Rolly. And so, for those of you who are new to me, my name is Rolly Allaire. My spirit name is Gigudo Migwen, which stands for Talking Feather Woman. And I work with women who have experienced trauma, and I work with them by using my years of psychotherapy combined with some holistic healing. And so that is what it is that I do. And so today's challenge is day 5 challenge, which was actually supposed to be tomorrow, or yesterday, I should say. And so I'm doing yesterday's challenge today. Yesterday was, hi Nikki. Yesterday was not a very good day for feeling well. I spent most of the day vertical. Whenever I would sit up, I would actually get nauseous. So I spent most of the day laying down yesterday. And so I was not hopping on alive yesterday in a vertical position. So this is yesterday's challenge. And so the challenge is Share Your Heart, Share Your Work. Challenge that Allison has put on. And so we're at day 6 today. And I'll hop on and do that prompt a little later. But I wanted to hop on. I'm feeling really congested, Nikki, so like lots of congestion, but I'm not feeling nauseous when I'm sitting up anymore, which is a good thing. And so yesterday's prompt was about why do I do what it is that I do? And so I do what it is that I do because I want to be able to help the women that I work with have transformation, have a life that is that they actually have, or that they're able to make the changes in their life that they want to actually see happening. And so it's different for each client. So different people have different experiences because they have different goals, they have different challenges going in, but also different challenges that are going on in their life right now. And so, but although and when I'm working with my clients, I really take a very much individual approach. And even when doing it in a group work, so although that there's a lot of the same, so here's the standards of the things that we're doing together as a group, but then everybody just kind of takes what it is that they need and they're able to transform their lives in the way that feels good for them. And I am really huge on whatever it is that's going on. Like, you take what you need and you leave the rest. And that is an approach that I have always taken, is that you take what you need from what it is that somebody's sharing or somebody's doing, and if it feels right for you, then go with it, and if it doesn't feel right for you, then don't. And so if it, like, unless it's just feeling uncomfortable because it's something new and something changing, then that's a different story. Then sometimes we need to push a little bit beyond that fear. Because sometimes fear will hold us back, and if we just listen to that fear, then we never get moving and we never get started. So it's a little bit different than that, but if something really truly doesn't resonate with you, then it's really important for you not to be doing that. And one of the things is that I grew up in the sense where you needed to do everything that you were told, and you had to, so if this is how you were told to do things, then you're supposed to do it that way, and you're not supposed to stray from it. And a lot of my type A personality comes from that outlook. And I know that that's where it comes from. And some OCD traits come from needing to have everything all lined up. And if it didn't line up, then we just didn't do it. And so, because if I'm missing a step, then I can't do it. I can't do A, B, skip C, and then move on to E and F and G, because then what else am I supposed to be doing? So, because then I'm missing part of it. And that's just the way that I have been taught. A lot of that has to do with control. A lot of that has to do with anxiety. And I know that. And so, so when I'm working with my clients, it's really being able to have a good understanding and a perspective of where they're coming from. What is it that is going on for them? And where do they want to go? What is it that they want to be able to do? And so, as much as there are times when I'm pushing a client to be able to move past that little hump of something that we're working on, it initially is based on where do they want to start, right? So if that is something that they don't want to work on, then we already know that on the onset. So like if that is something, now if they're coming to me and saying, okay, well, these are the things that I want to be able to work on, and then there's resistance, then we work past and we move through the resistance. But if it is something that they just that really isn't something that they want to change in their life, then we don't. So although somebody will say, okay, well, I'm smoking and I want to be able to quit smoking, and because I know that it's not healthy for me, and that is something that I want to be able to do, and these are some of the other things that I want to be able to work on. But if quitting smoking isn't one of their priorities, isn't one of the things that they want to be able to work on, then we don't. So even though they've identified it as something that they want to be able to work on, it doesn't mean necessarily that that's something that they want to change. And so being able to recognize that is something that's really important. So the goals when I'm working with clients are always coming from their perspective. What do they want to change? Even though they've identified that these are some of the things that they want to be able to work on, it doesn't mean that those are the things that we're going to be working on if that's not some place where they're ready to move through. Now, if they come to me and say, okay, well, I'm coming to work with you and quitting smoking is what it is that I want to be able to do, then we're going to set goals specifically to being able to quit smoking and being able to take those steps and create whatever it is that they need to be creating that way. And I'm using quitting smoking because quitting smoking is usually one of those things that get identified, and when they're working through their anxiety or whatever else, that is their coping strategy. And not that it's a healthy coping strategy, and I by no means promote smoking for dealing with anxiety, but a lot of times that is a coping strategy. So we work on other things. So we work on other things in the back end first to be able to help them work through some of the things that are causing the anxiety, being able to remove some of the barriers, being able to help give them some different coping skills so that they can actually have a better handle on the anxiety, and then they can actually work on doing the quitting smoking. And so it all kind of depends on what it is that's going on for them that allows them to be able to make those changes. And one of the things that I find is that when I work with my clients to have them work through the goals and the things that they want to be able to work through, then it helps them to be able to identify that. And so why I do what I do is because I love being able to see the transformation that my clients have made. And over the years, I have seen huge transformations from clients. I've had some clients where there isn't a lot of transformation, but that is because that's the stage that they're in and where they're wanting to move forward and don't necessarily take the steps or want to take the actions that'll actually help them move through. And I can't help them get beyond that, right? So as much as I would love to be able to get back into being fit, being healthy, physically, I need to be able to take those actions and I need to be able to take those steps. So as much as I get motivated, I'm ready to go, and then I'm eating junk food because I just don't feel like preparing whatever it is that I need to be preparing, right? So it's all about being able to, what are some of the steps? And if I'm not willing to take the steps that are necessary, then I'm not going to lose weight. I'm not going to get healthier. I'm not going to get more fit. So I need to take those steps. I need to take that action. So when spring first came, it was like, I'm going for it and I'm walking every day and I was doing really well. And then something happened that prevented me from walking for a little bit. And then I just never went back to it. And it was like, because I had lost that motivation, I had lost that change. But it is still something that I want to be able to see happen. And my goal was by the end of the summer that I was going to be able to walk. From my place to New Liskeard, which is I think it's about 14 kilometers. And that was my goal for the rest of the summer. But I didn't get there because I stopped. I stopped that momentum, and if I would have been able to continue with that momentum, but then I lost sight on that was my priority. And so being able to make the changes and helping be able to stay committed and stay connected. And so one of the things that I tried doing was being able to find somebody to be able to stay motivated with, right? So when I'm working with my clients, that is my role. That is my role of being able to continue to help motivate you to be able to continue to work through. And so, so being able to, because it really does make me feel good when I actually see the changes that people have made. And sometimes, I love being able to be that mirror that actually reflects back on, this is where it is that you were at before, and look at where you're at now. And because when we're actually working through things, we expect things to be immediate, right? So we expect things to be immediate, but then we forget, oh, no, this is where I was. And if I actually reflect back on, where were you 3 months ago? Where were you 2 months ago? Where were you a year ago? Right? So it gives that perspective of where things have changed and where things have shifted. And yeah, so why I do what I do is Allison's prompt. And why I do what I do is because I love being able to help. And I love hearing the transformations, and I love hearing the changes. And sometimes hearing those transformations or hearing those changes means that we're hearing I'm stuck and I don't know where it is that I'm going. And those parts of things are not necessarily the parts that I love, but there's always a solution. There's always a solution. We just need to sometimes dig a little deeper to try and figure out where that solution is, what that solution is, and help come up with a creative way of being able to make that happen. And sometimes it's being able to look at it from a different perspective. One of the things that some of my clients really struggle with is, because a lot of my clients that I do have are clients that are very strong, and they have done so many things to be able to survive in this life, because of abuse, because of a lot of different things. And so a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different some prejudices, and a lot of those kinds of things. And so being able to help them be vulnerable is one of the things that and helping them be okay with having tears, and being able to release the emotions through those tears sometimes is really challenging for some of my clients. And so as much as I don't want to be able to have my clients cry, because that's not always comfortable for them, is that when they're crying, I know that they're releasing. And so and if we have connected well enough, then if those tears are there and they're working through the scenarios, and we've connected with tears, then I know that they are at a place where they're making changes, where things are shifting for them. And so why I do what I do is because I love the transformation that I am able to help my clients feel. I am able to help them heal, and I'm able to help give them the space where they feel safe and where they're connected. And so that's why I do what I do. So that is my prompt for today, actually for yesterday, and I will be back on in a little later. I just come back from a birthday party, and so I am just going to kind of unwind and get things started for dinner. And then so I will probably hop back on a little ways after dinner and move on to today's prompt, because today is really day 6, even though I'm doing day 5 challenge. I wanted to still be able to hop on, and so part of me last night was like, oh, okay, well, I was too sick to be able to do it. I'll just skip it and I just won't do it. And it's like, no, I've committed to doing these 10 days. I've committed to coming on live for these 10 days and following Allison's prompts. And so I am still going to do it. I just had to, so it was postponed a little bit. So I will do day 5 today, day 5 now, and then I'll do day 6 later. And so that is where things are. So thanks for joining me, Nikki. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.